Well, you. Oh, hold on.
Sexy.
Oh.
Somebody in
You
here,
guys
it's your
are
birthday.
so silly.
Somebody in here, it's your birthday.
It's your birthday.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh.
So when you
Oh my gosh, I'm so obsessed with him.
no,
Like, I'm ready for him to get back to his content that like made me obsessed with him, because he's been doing a lot of celebrating, which I love for him.
wait,
But
who?
so there's this guy, Prav, I think is his name. And he went viral recently because I think Kiki reposted him, but he was basically like, I still watch your stories. It's never the way you look, it's the way you act. Yeah. But when you go on his page, he's so funny though.
He is so fine though.
He is fine. And then he calls you his pookie.
I'm gonna have to find this guy. Send
No,
me
you
his
need
link.
to find him and you need to watch some of his, because he'll be like, hey Pookie. And then like you find yourself smiling at the camera like an idiot. You're like, stop that. This is so
There's a
stupid.
guy who's he's very okay. So his thing is he's a handyman.
Ooh.
And you see, he already hooked.
Yep.
And he's a handyman for the women in his life, his mama and his grandmama and his female neighbors who are older and single, and he'll make up, he'll just take care of them, and he's so nurturing, and it's nothing sexual, but damn,
But
he's
all
so
of that sounds so sexual and like, the best
Not that
way.
it's sexual, but it makes us
Yes.
sexual because it totally appeals to this lizard part in our brain that is compelled to find and seek out the things that are going to keep us alive.
like, and
if fucking some of them is going to keep them next to us, well, hey,
because he's fine too. And the thing is, like, not only is he fine, but he's fine, and he lives in Compton. My brother lives in Compton. So
California. I'm gonna go down and see him.
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm definitely gonna show my brother his page because he's coming to Vegas. My brother,
brother's coming to Vegas?
Yeah, my brother's coming to Vegas to come see me. He'll be up on Saturday. He says,
why is he coming to Vegas? We got to tell everybody why you're going to Vegas.
I'll be in Vegas for the BravoCon. If you want to donate,
it's BravoCon already.
I know it's BravoCon already. And not only is it BravoCon already, but I still do not have a wristband. But I'm going.
You're gonna get one.
We'll put it out there in the universe.
Everybody's talk to that girl that Kesh sent it to, because I was like, ooh, the Bravo Palooza. Because I want to go to one of those. I want to go to an extra one. But then my friend Katie was like, it's not on the budget. And I was like, that's cool. We're in Vegas. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Let's go gamble. So
don't worry about it, sweetheart.
But her tickets are legit. She sent me the screenshot. She was very communicative. If you holler at her.
How much are they?
I think she's selling them at face value. So we just need, hey, live listeners, a sponsor for
like listen, we need a sponsorship because I am a single working mom. I am paying for everything for my child out of pocket, and this child likes a lot. Again, right now I am literally at gymnastics.
I'm gonna throw it out there.
Listen, I will say it is hard because
She's the reason, right? Kristen, aka Philly Diva. She is the reason that we don't have to see Diana Jenkins again.
Enough. That's enough.
Right.
For me.
That there alone deserves sponsorship.
Thank you.
Gotta be. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, so we just like jumped in and started talking, and I didn't say intros. I didn't do any of the things. I apologize.
Because we're having fun and we're friends in real life.
Yeah.
For those of you who are watching, my name is Nimare, that African butterfly, and it's my birthday. So our Sunday school crew, if you've seen, we've done a couple lives before. I'm going to try to get better about doing these because we have fun. Part of it is that we talk every day, all day. So then it's like, okay, so when are we all going to get together on live? But we're going to try to do it more often so you guys so we can bring it from the chat to here to you guys. So yeah, I have some friends with me. If you guys want to introduce yourselves, tell everybody a little bit about you.
Tell us who goes first.
Lauren, because you're right next to me on my screen anyway.
Hey guys, I'm Lauren Osborne, a friend of the birthday girl, and also a Bravo fanatic and a podcast host. And my podcast is called Baggage Claim, available on all streaming platforms. Nice to meet y'all. Kristen, go.
Okay, I'll go. I am Kristen Dion, aka Philly Diva. I am also a big fan of Bravo, reality TV. In general, I have an Instagram Bravo page called Philly Diva, where if you do not know, I am with the Shiznai. I give my opinion, love it or hate it. I give it respectfully, but I try to do it with humor and love. So it's always a good time. And go Birds! Like,
Yes.
it's football season. I'm a football sports joint. Go Birds! The Phillies are winning. I'm sorry. I'll go off. Go ahead, Maria. Like,
All right, who's next?
You're the host. You tell us.
Oh, I thought you guys were just jumping because you went from Lauren to Kristen.
you throw it to me. I'll throw it. I'm
yeah,
gonna
throw it to someone.
I'm going to throw it to Keish because she helps me find my phone when I lose it.
Always an Apple employee. I'm wearing my old shirts. Oh my God, that's so funny. Oh, I'm Keisha. I don't work at Apple. It has been a long time since I did that. I love Bravo. But I don't run any Bravo content, anything, but I do love watching them and commenting and talking shit. But I am a freelance photographer, so I've been a little slow on showing work, but if you want to see some of my stuff, some of the things I'm documenting, you can follow me at Chocolate Quiche, Chocolate Quiche, Kesh, and that's where you can find me.
Beautiful
So
photography.
last.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nella. I'm your neighborhood big sister, ready to tell you what to do because that's my job.
True.
I have a couple of pages on Instagram, but the one I'm here on for is called Fix My Life Podcast. And I'm probably going to try to put my podcast back out again because I finally fixed my website, m3incoak.com, because I'm also a business consultant, professional mentor by day, and by night I am a tarot reader. So I do a little bit of everything, and I'm out here in the Bay in Oakland. So come through.
Yes. Oh, and you're gonna do a reading.
Yes, we're going to do a reading for you after this. But on Monday, I just want to say thank you for putting this whole little crew together. I love each and every one of these women, even though we have never hugged in real life. I feel we have hugged in spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love our little crew.
Yeah,
We wipe each other's tears.
Oh
Like,
my God. Yeah.
Sometimes we go at it, but like with love.
with love,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I really feel like that's so important, is having people you can disagree with respectfully. Like I still
Respectfully,
respect you all enough that even when I'm like, this girl's lost it, there's still a level of respect there, and it never gets that bad. And it's just interesting because I know we're all coming from a place of sound reason and mind, even when we disagree and see things completely differently. So I love that perspective.
I want to give you a birthday gift. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Dare I say it?
Southern
Charm. Paige has been charming.
Yes.
Yes.
I can't believe you just wait. We all need a moment because you said something nice about Paige. Let's have a
Yeah,
moment.
Okay,
Like,
on this day,
What time is it?
October 22nd at 8:20 a.m. Pacific time, history was made.
Lauren said something nice about Paige.
Join her on
And meant
Southern
it.
Charm. I
And
even
meant
told
it.
Craig.
And meant it.
It's the end of the motherfucking
Wait,
world.
what was that last part?
I
Is
said,
it
I've
because
eaten
compared to
and
all those other Southern people,
Correct.
she looks real good?
That's what I'm saying. Yes. And yeah, you saying you're even enjoying Craig. It's like, not that I wouldn't enjoy them individually, but like definitely in comparison. That's why I've always had a spot for Craig, because it's like Craig or Shep. Like,
Oh,
You know,
Craig, all day,
I
all
do
day,
Craig,
criticize
all
all
day.
day.
spot
Craig,
for Steffi. I do.
I
Here's the
used
dilemma
to
I'm in right
until he
now.
never grew up. I used to have a soft spot for Shep, but then I mean he's okay, but I don't love him as much as I used to.
True.
I think
No.
what it is for me is that when Cam left, Shep didn't have anyone to really ground him.
Mm,
Like, even though
Yeah.
him and Cam were platonic friends,
Mhm.
and she was really kind of one of the, I'm not calling her one of the good old boys. However,
mhm.
she does
Yeah.
fit that category. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she comes from very, very old money. She married very old money. So she could talk to Shep in a way that he
They
can't
understood.
belittle her.
That was kind of how she was
Yeah.
on the Real World. That's my only I'm like, that's my only resource. I'm like, that's how she kind of was on the Real World. She was hanging out with everybody. She was hanging out with Brad and calling him a Yankee. She was like really good friends with Randy. But
Yeah.
I have a question. The other day I was too smacked to look for my phone, and Southern Charm auto played. So I watched like 20 minutes of Southern Charm for the first time. And it was really strange.
I have to
It's
say, I feel like this
20
season has been
minutes.
good.
This
I
season is
really,
good.
Really good. I don't watch it.
And the
I
thing
do
is,
not watch Southern Confederate Misogyny Plantation at all. No.
And
Yeah,
here,
no.
here-
It
here's
starts
the
with
rub.
Patricia all the way down.
yeah.
Patricia, I do skip her scenes.
Like, it's very
You own people. I know it.
hard to watch Miss Patricia. Like,
Yeah.
knowing who she is,
Yep.
it turns my stomach.
See,
I
and I
skip
don't
her.
know too much of who she
Oh,
is on
okay,
purpose.
so
She
I
doesn't
mean,
want
no,
to.
no,
Because
listen,
I know
listen.
how I am,
I
and I
don't have
won't.
to tell you about her. I don't have
Yeah.
to say about her. I'm gonna just say this: Homegirl had a fully decorated Confederate flag Christmas tree.
Mm.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
sadly,
Like,
I'm not even shocked.
from start to bottom, like
Mhm.
fully decorated Confederate star Christmas tree. And
I don't like that shit.
and there are other little tchotchkes in her house that
Mhm.
needed to be removed for filming.
Mhm.
I had a feeling.
So
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like
it's
yeah.
very difficult.
Yeah.
Woo! You see my blood boiling. Like,
I skip her scenes because I know what she's about. I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
See, so
Some
I'm
Yankee bitch that decided she was a Southern belle. Fuck her.
She's from the North. Bitch,
Is she?
she's
she's from
She's
Chicago,
from,
I
like,
think.
her from her
Or from Florida or something, but she's not from the South.
from like
No,
the
she-
South.
She,
Yeah.
no, she's not
That
from the
bitch
Confederate.
saw
Oh,
Gone
that's
with
even
the Wind
worse.
one too
Yeah,
many times. I
She's
swear to
not
God.
from Georgia.
That's
She's
even
not from
worse,
Georgia,
actually.
Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, or the Carolinas.
Not
Like, she's
Florida.
not from, like,
she's
She's from
not
Florida.
from below the Mason Dixie. That's what we're saying.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so it's really just all an act, which makes it even worse.
Mm-mm.
But I
So
will
this
say,
white woman is so white. She appropriated other white supremacist culture. That's how white she is. She whited herself out.
Let's talk about happier topics. Well, not necessarily happier.
Racist white people. This
Not-
makes me happy.
I got a cough.
Not
and y'all don't
necessarily
need to hear
happier,
it.
but better than her, which is like my last thing on Southern Charm, which is for those of us who would watch, because like last season, I think I didn't even finish the season. I just finished it to catch up, but I was over it like
I
midway
didn't.
through last season. And I just started this season because I wanted to see if Vinetta was still on there because I love me some Vignetta. And she is. I want more screen time for her though. But at least she's back.
They're using
I think she's
her.
gonna,
You know
now that
that.
her and Madison have made up, because Madison has earned her way back to a star versus friend of, and she's not even filming the whole time. So now that her and Madison made up, Naomi's no longer there, like, because I guess she's not effing with Whitney anymore. Like, that was really the
Mm-mm.
only reason she had to come back, because nobody was like, you were forcing her down Craig's throat, and she was like,
Right.
he was like, nah.
Yeah.
No.
So it's Vanita has a little bit more wiggle room, and if she shines as a friend of, and properly brings the mess. She actually, right now, she doesn't even need to because with everything else going, she just needs to carry the bones very gracefully the way she's doing.
I
Like-
want her to carry the bones very gracefully to Southern Hospitality because that's a fun fucking cast. It's
That is
so
a fun
It
cast.
so
is, but
much
she's not
fun.
like,
1000%.
And
That's
it
Southern.
feels
Yes.
Isn't
love
she, isn't she a little too grown for that cast though?
she
Like,
No,
is.
she does
Oh,
not
but
need
she's
to be
friends
anywhere
with
near
Leva.
on TV.
She could
No.
be like the voice of reason since Leva's their boss that the
Yeah.
girls like go to, like, I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, listen, I will help decorate your home because you live like you're impoverished. I will decorate your home. And while we do this scene, I'm going to give you advice, little bits of advice. And you know what I mean? When it comes to the party, she keeps going to Republic. Let's get her
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You know?
We're gonna have to figure that out. You know what? Maybe we'll take because I can work remotely. So maybe we can take like a couple weeks in July when they're filming
Mm-hmm.
down
go down there?
yeah, and go down there and see what we can, kind of
Tell her.
see what we can kind of drum up. Like,
Yeah.
like I mean, I'm not saying we self-produce, but
See what
Why
we can
not?
drum up, or at least like get it in a new, like
get it,
house.
get
get
the
her
ball
to
rolling.
go to Martha's Vineyard as one of,
Yeah.
really start to
Like I could absolutely see Benita
trickle in
because-
like kind of Brian is doing till we
Yeah.
find, their footing.
Yeah.
Oh,
because she would fit in great as Summer House because Black folk Summer House
Mhm.
because she also went to an HBCU with
Yes.
Jordan.
She
Her
would be
in a
good
good
on that cast.
relationship.
That would be
I
a
That
think
would
they both
be
went to
very
Howard
good.
together.
That
yeah.
would be very good. So
She needs to get in with like Jordan and become friends with like Jordan and get in the house.
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not like
because she'll be in the Houses
regular
franchise. I could see
season
that.
Summer House were all friends before they got together, so I don't see why that couldn't work.
Right. Yeah. As long as she knows at least like one of them.
Like we're speaking
Yeah.
it, and I feel like let BravoCon be the meeting, right? And
Yeah.
they apply, you know what I mean? Let's speak it into existence. We're
We're
like,
speaking into existence. We're going to make it pop. Like,
same with
Yeah.
her and Sierra. I'm not even gonna front. I think that's important too.
so
Yeah,
I'll have
better-
back in a couple. I was, I've been.
I'm not a
chatting with
CC
couple of
fan, you
people.
already know that, but I'm moving network style for Vanetta. I'm just thinking big.
See, and this is the logic that I'm talking about. Not a CC fan, but we can still be like, here's what would be good for her, and here's what
Yeah.
would be good for the network.
Right. But even if not
And here's how we
CC,
can get you
then
some more
Gabby.
text, sister.
Wait, CC is Sierra, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love her. I don't care. I
You
love her.
do?
She is full. Yes, I get her humor. She's really dry,
Yeah.
dry as the desert. And I think most people don't really see that because she's really not there I mean, she looks like the girl that has never really had to work hard to make friends, or she just doesn't give a fuck about making friends.
Yeah.
think
Because
it's the
I know
latter.
I'm the same way. It's like I don't feel like need to make an effort to be nice
Yeah.
to you just so I can say
I'm
I
just
have
a
a
nice
friend.
person. If you like me, great. If
Yeah.
not, kick
Right.
fucking
I think
rock.
she's
See, and can I
right.
just say though, can I just say
Justice
though,
for Sierra.
I just
and she
want to
was
say
a
though, I have a
nurse.
slight gripe because it does drive me a little bit crazy that not naturally pleasant people, not that you're not pleasant, but like that not
not.
like naturally pleasant people always assume that those of us who are pleasant are doing it because we want people to like us or because we want people to be friends with us. And it's like, no, that's literally just my personality. Like,
But we're not
I
talking
shoot
about
out
people
niceness,
who are
like,
being, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about people who
no,
are
I'm just,
naturally
no,
nice.
I'm just saying
They're
in
naturally
general, like,
nice.
I'm just saying in
But
general, like my
people
gripe
who are
is that
not, but the people who aren't going out of their way, it's not because they're mean. It's just because they're just not going out of their
that's
way.
what I'm saying is like, for some of us, we're not going out of our way. That's literally our modus operatus or however they say it. Like
Gotcha.
my mode of
Okay.
operation, whether I'm talking to someone or by myself talking to the TV, like I'm just nice. I cheer people on. I come from this like, hey girl,
Yeah.
hey. And it's like, it's just frustrating sometimes because I know that a lot of people who don't operate from that think that we're going out of our way to be like that. And I'm like,
No,
that's
I don't
literally
think
just
that.
how I,
No, I
yeah.
don't think that at all. I just don't think Sierra is the bitch that everybody makes her out to be. I don't think
think so.
people who are naturally nice
Sierra?
are trying to do it for reasons. No,
Yeah.
that's not what I'm saying at all. All I'm
Yeah.
saying is that some of us who are not out there trying to be everybody's best friends, we're not bitches either.
Right, that part. Yeah, that part.
Yeah.
And I do find though that the prettier you are, the harder that is. Like when someone, and I feel like people, well, with everyone, right? Whether you're outgoing or quiet, people assign stuff to you. But I find that if you're like less conventionally attractive and you're quiet and not like with people, it's like, oh, they're shy, they're quiet, they're to themselves. If you are beautiful and you are shy and quiet, you are a bitch or you are a dick. You think you're above everybody. And it's like, people will assign that to that person because of how they feel about that person's appearance, not because that person has said or done anything. So like I can easily
1000%.
see like that being like a
Beyonce.
Sierra situation, right? Like she's
Absolutely.
just pretty, people
I
automatically
do.
assign it. But I don't know. With her, it's more than that though, because I did try to like her. I do like her
I
sometimes.
have
I get
tried.
her humor sometimes.
Okay, so
I
here's
don't
All I
dislike.
know is I love her more than Lindsay, and Lindsay can
I'm
go
not a
suck a dick,
fan,
and she's the
and
one
I-
that's always trying to be on everybody's good side and suck up to everybody and make everybody think she's a good person when she's just a piece of trash that didn't have a sandwich.
Projecting here because I thought we were talking about Sierra and
Okay, yes. Lauren, take it back to Sierra
Thank
and then
you.
Lauren and then
You.
Kristen.
right, I'm keeping it above par right now. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not.
What did you want
So
to say
my
about
thing
Sierra?
with Sierra is
this is what I'm talking
listen,
like people.
I understand falling for the wrong one. Okay. I understand that it was Austin. And I think Austin is a very large part of my just like, girl, like that.
The
okay?
whole handling of it.
Exactly. Everything. And I feel as if I'm really trying to let that go and
Same.
give the benefit of the doubt here. The girl. Baby
And I
girl.
try to remind myself that she's only 25.
Right.
try to remind
it's
myself
really
that she's
bad.
like a decade younger than
I've
me.
seen Austin. Kristen, you have too. He's
Yeah. He is a tall drink of
He's
water. Okay, he's a
tall. He's
tall
not like
drink of
Craig.
water.
Craig is fine. Okay.
Craig is Zach Morris. I'm telling you.
Fine. He's so good looking. It's ridiculous.
Yo,
But-
I see
but
my page.
I understand. I get how she was like, and that's the thing. Like, I've been that dummy, and I
Yeah.
understand why that part frustrated me about her. But
Yeah.
then it was like the after effects, the ripple effects of that were like, it made it hard for me because I'm like, girl, we've all been there. We've
Yeah.
all
And she made it such a big deal when it really wasn't
Yes.
It wasn't that
as
okay.
big of a deal.
Sidebar.
That was my
Everybody has had the same reaction to Shep. It's not just Sierra, which is what weirds me
Austin,
out.
but yeah.
Yeah, I mean to Austin, not Shep.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
Kristen, what are
like-
you saying?
and that I guess that's okay. And it's hard. I don't want to say it's hard for me because again, y'all girls know I'm not a summer house girl. Summer house girl. Like I don't. It's weird to me. I don't watch it. But
Oh, by the way, sorry, really quick, can you share I tagged you all on your IG because I put the link in it
I'm on my phone, so I'll do all
later.
those
Yeah,
technical
that's fine.
later.
Okay,
You
sorry,
know I'm not
continue.
technically savvy. So I'm not a summer house girl. I like Black Summer House. I never saw the other joint. I only know Winter House Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the two are different.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think that needs to be said first before I say my opinion.
Okay.
I think. Oh, sorry. Go
My
ahead.
Sierra is, I don't know if she had seasonal depression or if that's just what happened after she started effing with Austin. But she's weird. Like, girl, I'm going to need you.
I almost thought you were about to redeem her,
No.
but no, you're just seconding why we all have issues with her because
Like-
she took that from the summer to the Winter House, and we were like, it's not that big
And
of a
that was
deal.
the thing. Like, I came in
Summer.
knowing that they stopped messing around. It wasn't that big of a deal. Like, okay, like she fell for this tall drink of water. It's not a lot of people there. Everybody's already booed up. Like, it happens. Sweetie, it happens to all of us. Like, hello, vacation. Like, isn't that what Summer House is? Like, which is part of the reason I also don't watch it.
Mm.
Because of the merry-go-round of relationships.
So I love it.
Not the
Passing
mono,
around of
sorry.
the chlamydia.
Nope. That's all alleged. That's all alleged. Even though that's what
Allegedly.
Madison said on Southern Charm. That's his girl came.
They're all the
And
cats
here,
are like
I
that
think
though.
that's
They
a really
all just
interesting
cycle.
thing you said. The Sierra on Winter House and the Sierra on Summer House. And it just goes to show you how much editing is really at play in as far as our opinions of these people. That's why it's kind of like, for me, whatever narrative is on there, and that's what I'm going with. I don't follow these people off the show. I do not involve myself. That takes away, which is one of my gripes against some of these Bravo accounts. Can we just keep something for later? We don't need to know everything right away.
Every single detail. Like, I try to give you a tease here or there, but I don't want to ruin the entire season. Like,
no. So that's why it's kind of
really
like,
good.
Sierra, these are all different. Maybe that's why you like Paige more on Southern Charm than you do on Summer House, because of the editing, and because compared to everybody else on that show, she looks,
the energy. Because also, though, I feel like with most people, I know, like with me, my energy is also different when I'm around different people. I'm very much like your energy. I match energy whether I want to or not. So the
environment, that's why I feel like, I hate to say it, they do need to mix up Summer House because it's quite toxic right now. People need to take breaks for summer. People need, you know what I mean? It needs to be rotations so it feels different, because it's like Teresa, okay? And I know, y'all, she's quite flawed. She's very flawed, okay? But then you got Teresa, Ultimate Girls Trip, and then you have Teresa surrounded by people that feel like you are coming for me, right? Like at all times. Like I can't be chill, you know? And so I do think the environment is also that. I'm also going to say, in terms of leaks, that I'm very happy and impressed with Beverly Hills. Now we know who the leak was, clearly.
Right. It's all been tightened up, and we appreciate it. We like it better that way. We love it
so much better. You know?
You're welcome.
So we haven't been on together on screen since the engagement fall down, right? We did do one about it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because we were like all hands on deck, right?
Yeah.
What was the last major Bravo thing? Oh, so I guess the talk about Kyle and Mauricio, do you guys think it's true or do you think it's fake? Because people are saying it's fake.
It's an
fake.
actress, but not a good one.
I think
it's fake, and I hope that girl Morgan thinks it's fake, because Morgan is a real lesbian. Like, she's not a play lesbian, and I hope.
I don't know about Kyle. I don't know there. That's not where my mind is at. My mind is the fact that Mauricio is kicking it with this woman. Okay, he's been telling people in Aspen that he's from Aspen. The man is Mauricio is separated in his mind. And I don't know what's going on the other side, and to each their own. I'm rooting for Kyle again. She's had a hard couple of years, and I'm trying my best to just be like, this is a weird time, okay? Like, I left my spouse and moved to a different state and was like, get out, and was still married, okay? Like, I don't know, but I do feel that what we see optics-wise, and same with Dancing with the Stars, the Mauricio is separated. Now, I don't know if that means Kyle is with Morgan, but he's separated from his marriage man.
I think that is okay. It's complicated how I feel.
Okay.
I think that what started out as a storyline, what started out as a publicity stunt, gave way for something that was brewing to just say, you know what?
Yep.
I'm just going to go
take some real time.
Let's just take some real time. And I say that because what season was that when Brandy bought the tabloids?
Oh,
that was season 5.
It was so long ago.
That was like season 5 or season 6. That was a long time ago. And here we are at season 13. And I don't know if, again, this thing with Morgan is true. Do I think it's a friendship there? Yeah, I think it's a genuine friendship.
I think it's a friendship. I don't know if they're hooking up, but
I don't know if they're hooking up, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be completely honest and transparent. I don't think that is out of the realm of possibilities.
At all.
I don't think it would be a hookup. I think it would be
a relationship.
A friendship turned into something we weren't expecting.
I've seen that before in my life, in
Yeah.
my friends that I was like, oh, okay, well, two different instances. I met one of my best friends who just had her gender reveal yesterday. I met her as a lesbian. Okay. She went to college. She met this girl named Liz. Liz had some fucking swag. And I get it. I mean, she could even charm me. I mean, not even like I get it. Like there was
Yeah.
a friend, there was an
There are
attraction.
some
They
people,
were
yeah.
together for years, and now she's with someone else. And I have a friend that it was the vice versa. So it isn't out of the realm of possibilities at all.
Well,
I
think
live in the
there are some
Bay
of us-
where it's like queer central, and that shit happens all the time.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Well, I
I
think
love
that
it,
there
though.
are also
I
like
love it,
some of
though.
us.
There's
who are-
nothing better than a lesbian who's been surprised by dick. I love it though.
What I was gonna
It
say
doesn't
is, I
mean they
think that
stop being lesbian.
No, I know.
people really have like a one-off either because they go both ways,
Listen, who hasn't had
right.
a one-off?
or a one-off because they're open. That's what I was gonna say. I think that some of us are just more like open to like whatever, even though they're like mostly strictly dickly. We're like open to if like whatever.
you know, I'm
But it's
open
not
to
anything we're like
fucking
looking
lions.
for. Like I feel like there are some
I
people who
get
are
it.
super cut off to it, and then there's some
Yeah.
people who are like, meh. What did you say?
I also
Kristen?
consider this too. Because
I was shooting my shot at Jenna Lyons.
I'd heard this too. Like
Right.
their relationship could have bloomed from honestly a place of like friendship,
Right.
honestly, like a place of like a sponsor, right? Because Kyle stopped drinking, right? They bonded on a different type of level. She hadn't
Yeah.
been drinking. Her body snatched. I'm telling you,
Yo,
it's
once Kyle stopped drinking,
That
mean-
game changer.
Oh, so in the chat they said the producers create real problems. That's true. That's
Yeah.
why reality TV is dangerous. Yeah, because they manufacture that stuff.
so let me tell
Bisexuality is real. Non-gold star lesbians are real. Yeah, all of that. Like that's the thing is,
Wait a
sexuality
minute.
is such a spectrum,
Listen,
right? Like
listen,
there's
I don't know what
straight,
a
gay,
non-gold
bi,
star
and then
lesbian is.
everything in the middle.
somebody teach the diva. What was that? A non-gold star lesbian?
Hmm.
What is that?
Well,
So
a
I
gold
think
star lesbian or a gold star gay is a lesbian that has never been with a man.
Or a gold
And
star
a gold
straight.
star gay is a man who's
Okay,
never been with. So we wouldn't call them non-gold stars. You only give them a gold star if they
Yeah.
hit the achievement.
Yeah.
Why do
Yeah.
you think all of the
Golden
housewives are
star.
so
Sorry,
going
guys.
for
Sorry.
Andy,
The sun is beaming in
for
right here.
Andy Cohen? Why do you think these housewives are just so hot for him? Because they all know he's never been with
He's
a
a gold
woman. They
star,
all
okay.
want their first
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
I'm
he
not gonna
has
hold
it?
you.
I
No,
love
he's never
how
been with a woman.
Matt on Watch What Happens Live busted Andy by being like, "Did you have a crush on Tom Sandoval?" Did y'all see that?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
Yes.
he puts up with so much crap from him. I would
Yes,
not be
and I was like,
surprised at all.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I love that they be clapping back at Andy.
Yo, okay, so I'm gonna say this, and I know this is an unpopular opinion.
Uh-uh.
Y'all can argue. Y'all can literally argue about it in the chats.
It's about to be Tamra.
Yup. I
Tamra.
think that Tamara did a good thing by telling Andy, "Shut the F up." Like, why are you in here? Because at the end of the day, yes, the host should be doing what he should be doing, but it shouldn't be Andy. Andy, take several seats, go back to the producer's chair where you belong, and have someone else sit in that seat and moderate these reunions. I said what I said. Y'all can argue about it in the chats. I don't
we're
think
not
Tamara was
arguing.
I'm gonna say
Why
one-
do you think? See, I feel like, I mean, people have bones to pick with Andy, but I feel like whoever does the reunion, people are going to have bones to pick with them. I do
No, I'm
think
not
that
saying that.
someone
I
with
think
more of a
that-
separation from
Yes.
them all would be a good
Yes.
idea because
It
he
needs to be
has too many
somebody-
personal relationships with them.
He
Yeah.
has way
Not
too many
Nicki
personal
Minaj.
relationships.
Not Nicki Minaj
Play his
though.
favorites. Not Nicki Minaj. Not
No, like
any
actual
celebrity.
people who do interviews all the time who would be wonderful.
Oh,
You
No,
know.
but like you know what I mean though, like the way they do BravoCon. Actually, if we could all manifest that next year, I get asked to moderate one of the BravoCon panels.
Yes.
All right. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so yeah, we would need someone who actually knew what they were doing. Like,
Even though some of the YouTubers who follow that particular franchise, like I watch that franchise, but not somebody who plays favorites, like a neutral person, like maybe Up and Adam. Like
Yeah.
he would be a neutral person for Orange County.
Because they do have to know, because I can't stand when people do it and they don't
Yeah.
like any interviews actually, and you can tell they don't really know what they're talking about. That's what made the whole Scandal thing infuriating with these interviews. Like they obviously didn't know what they were talking about when they were asking them the questions. So it was infuriating to watch. So as long as it's
Okay,
someone who
that's
actually
how they
watches, yeah.
What does anybody
Yeah,
give him?
that's
any
all I'm saying.
attention?
Like Zero would have been great for either Beverly Hills or Potomac.
Yeah, zero, yeah.
You know, like somebody who knows not just the franchise, but knows the culture of the franchise and knows,
So
you know,
then,
not
would you want just one host doing all of the reunions, or would you like it a mix up?
I know I definitely want to mix up. I don't want the same
Mm.
host for every franchise because every franchise isn't the same.
It's a
And
different
even
vibe.
it's a different vibe. And even when Andy said that he didn't watch Atlanta,
Yes.
then why are you hosting the reunion?
Why?
Right.
Why?
Right.
Like if you
That
don't
was
watch this
disrespectful.
franchise, why are you hosting it? Because what they're doing is giving you clips.
Right.
And you can't find the nuance in the clips. You can't find the tea, the receipts in the clips. The producers are doing their job, yes, but you, sir, have to do your research. So
Yep.
you, sir, are not the person to host franchises that you don't watch. You
Yep.
can, you can do the old Roni Legacy reunion because we know you watch that shit. But other than that, like
Yeah.
we don't need you. We need more peoples. Like
I
spread
second
the
all of
wealth.
that.
This is not
Mhm.
Tyler Perry's writing room, okay? Spread the wealth.
By the way, though, because I've never publicly said it, and it's my birthday, so I'm going to talk about it.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Hey, feliz cumpleaños.
I know this is a super, super unpopular opinion, but I get why Tyler Perry doesn't have people in his writing room.
Absolutely.
Because I understand, and you guys know, hello, our group, you know I'm all about collaboration. I love me some collaboration. But I also understand that you will never get everybody to agree on stuff. No matter what you produce or put out there, there will be people who hate it or love it. So it's like, why, if being with other writers and having to do that back and forth and all that stuff frustrates me, and I know the product is still going to be, some people love it and some people hate it, then I'm going to be like, hey, I got this far all on my own. I'm not going to add stress to my life because I don't need to. So I'm going to keep doing what has worked for me because, hello, I'm the billionaire. You're not. F you. I'm going to keep rolling. So I totally get it.
I was literally, this conversation was brought up when I was at a job on Friday, and I've been a fan of Asia Monet. I don't know if y'all follow Asia Monet, but she's a poet. She's an activist. She's amazing. I've been listening to her for a while. But someone was talking about how they felt like the community in Richmond, there was a lot of gatekeeping and blah, blah. And then she was like, sometimes I think gatekeeping's good. And I was like, I'm with you because I'm very particular about my work. Like I personally don't want everyone to see every photo. I don't want people to see what I'm working on. And sometimes you need to keep it to yourself because because you might influence, I'm using lightly, too much. And then they run with your idea and maybe they have the more resources. Or for me, being someone who is sick and still recovering, I can't put as much energy as I used to because it literally hurts my body. So I think gatekeeping, or if you have your vision and you want to keep it one way, especially with how everything is capitalized and with corporations, they want to make it shaped into a certain trend. And you're like, no, I don't want to be trendy. I want to be myself.
Yeah.
And so I think those types of people set them apart from others. Like I was having this conversation with my therapist. I was like, I don't feel like my photography's gotten better, but what I feel like is I'm true to myself. I'm not doing trendy shit. I'm doing shit that I like. I'm toning the way I want. I'm shooting the way I want. I'm not doing what everyone else is doing just to fucking do it.
Yeah.
And my favorite,
But I don't think that's the, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it's good. And with my favorite compliment that I've gotten is like, I can tell when a photo is yours. And I think that's a great way to shape your identity. And I think sometimes you gotta gatekeep, especially if you have a strong vision. So I'm with you on the Tyler Perry part. Although his shit ain't great, but them plays were so good.
But that shit
They were.
used to
So
be
I'm
shit
just gonna
that
read
he
some.
writes it for him. He writes
Right.
it for the people and I respect that. It's not everything is for
And not
everybody.
everything's for everyone, right? So
That's
in the
it.
chat there were some. It's juvenile because it gives people it's like giving people an excuse to stay stagnant. He has control issues and needs to work on it in therapy. Having standards isn't gatekeeping. Protecting your art isn't gatekeeping. Gatekeeping is about power dynamic and people who steal your art to elevate it. Because their money is gatekeeping. Yeah, I would say that I agree with that. I don't think anything that you described is necessarily gatekeeping because you're just protecting your brand and being who you are. I do get what you're saying though, in the sense of like, I'll think about that sometimes with as much as I love sharing resources. And I love connecting people together and I love doing those things. But sometimes it is hard when you know how much work you had to put into getting to a certain step when someone then wants to come in and have you hand that, like, you know what I mean? And for me, that's very hard because I am one of those, like, as you step up, turn around, reach out a hand and help them up too. But I want to know that you're going to work for it because I have also had a lot of times where like I reach that hand up, now I'm helping you and you're making me look bad because you're not doing the work because you didn't have to do the work to get here that I had to do the work to get here. So like, for me, it's really important to know that that person is putting in that grind themselves before I try to bring them on also.
Yep, you gotta instill it. You have to have a trust. You can't do anything without trust, or even an inch of it. You have to have at least some trust, even if you don't have full. So yeah, that makes total sense.
Because I also feel like once you start, it's like, at least for me, not that person represents you, but a little bit, right? Like when someone who you trust is like, oh, you should check this person out, you should talk to this person, see this person, I want to make sure I'm always a voice that's valued, that doesn't have to be second guessed because I recommend people that are trash. You know what I mean? Like I want to make sure that I'm also, because I love connecting people, but I want to make sure they're valuable connections because I also feel embarrassed when I connect people and the other person messes up or lets the person down. I feel like, I know it
It's so
shouldn't say it's a
embarrassing.
reflection of me, but I feel like it is.
No, it is.
It is.
No,
The
it is
people
a
you
reflection
surround
of you
yourself
because people are going
isn't out. Yep.
and
It
people are going to look at it
Yeah.
as you are a reflection. So in that
Tell me
sense
who
here,
you hang out with and I'll tell you who you are.
That's one
Yeah.
of my favorite. Well, my mom says that all the time. Tell me who your friends. Show me
My
who your
mom
friends
says it,
are.
but in
Okay,
I'll
Spanish.
show you who you are.
it is a direct reflection of, and I tell my kid that. But professionally, I've learned. I'll just kind of keep it to this kind of Bravo aspect. I've noticed like being on certain people's platform who would then come to my page.
Mm.
And I realized the energy I would attract. And although my numbers would, go up, is that really what I want?
Right.
Y'all know, I really don't be in comments. Because when I am, y'all get to know Kristen.
Girl, I have to put myself in a 2-comment limit. Like I'm only allowed to go back and forth twice before I have to step away unless it truly is a productive conversation.
And it wasn't.
I get feisty.
I love the 2. I need to remember that.
I need to remember that because I wasn't far from it. But what I did was I went from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. Oh, you okay, Stinkers?
What happened?
Okay.
He made some weird noise.
Oh,
She's got a snack.
Okay. Yeah, so I've had to kind of remind myself of the energy I put out there is what I'm going to attract. So not that I don't tell people what I'm going to do. That's not the case. But I've just chosen now to kind of even personally and publicly align myself in a certain way. And I'm not going to speak to certain things. I'm not going to say certain things. And, I choose not to shit on people. But some people out here are real grimy and dirty.
they are. And it's things that you can't like just know. And for me, because I like to give people a chance, for a while, I was like, I need to not because I get like hurt. But then I don't know, I feel like I meet so many more good people than bad people that at this point, what I've decided is I'm not really the type to
No, I'm just gonna give you enough rope to hang yourself.
Yeah.
And
I feel like if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and I'm open to it. I think I also see people as being a lot more seasonal. That's something I've had to do, especially like
Yeah.
in this Bravo world, because like we start talking to people and I'm like, we're besties, we're friends, we're talking forever. And then like crickets. And then like I get my feelings hurt because I was like, I thought we were friends. But now I'm just like, you know what? Seasons. Everyone's
no,
seasons.
you know what? I learned that lesson. You know what? Thank God I did go viral early, because I learned that lesson super quick,
Mm,
because the summer was my season. And everybody, you know what I mean, was there for me. After BravoCon,
crickets.
crick it's crick it's. And I am to be some of the few Black Bravo content creators that are out there.
Yeah,
Cricket.
I wish we stuck together a little more.
Like, so, you know,
I hear you.
I think that we appreciate each other, especially in this collective, guys. We appreciate each other no matter what, and we are respectful of each other no matter what. And I don't think so much that is gatekeeping. Guys, we'll get back to Bravo in a minute. We're having a heart to heart. Like,
No, we
this is
can.
what
No, I love this. It's my birthday. We'll talk about what we want, and you know I love a good heart to heart.
like. I appreciate the good energy that sticks and stays. Like, I say all that to say, I appreciate the good energy that sticks and stays. And I appreciate like my sister family that really will hold my hand. Like, yo, you should have called that joint a see you next Tuesday in the comments. That was too much. Like, all right, my bad. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because I've done it. And
And no, I hear you, and I appreciate, because I'm so like, I love loyalty and I love building a crew. Like when I dream of my life, as I dream of like where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do, like it's never just me. It's like, oh, and how can I bring along this person who likes to do this thing, and how can I put this person who's on with this thing? It's like I want to always be surrounded by my crew and to be like that group. But for me, it's important that I'm building, and it's something that I've been conscious of, because I have been on a very, like, I'm goal focused, and I, since I turned 30, have been working towards these like things. And so one of them is really being conscious of um my surroundings and my energies and my people and who I'm building this new tribe with, because I've always, and I love it about me, I've always attracted like a wide range of people because I'm open to meeting and talking to anybody. I always say one of my favorite pictures is my 30th birthday dinner, because it's like different ages, different races, different religions, different political things. And I'm like, that is so representative of me, I feel like. And I love that we can just all get together. So, but like since moving to Delaware and since being on the path that I'm on, I've been very more intentional with building friendships. But it's because it's important to me, because I want to build with people who I want to take with me into that next phase. And so it's also hard though too, when you do start putting people in those roles and then they start disappointing you, or they start showing that they're not a good fit for that. And I'm getting better about just like letting it go. But I don't know. I guess it's weird because I have non-attachment, but attachment style.
You
Like,
gotta let people just be themselves.
right.
That's the thing. You can't expect from others the exact same thing that you would do for them. You can't. And it's not for them to do that for you. It's
Mhm.
for them to, you know, when you want to have fun, you have fun. When you want to work, you work. And if it works out, it works out. But the minute you start putting the expectation on yourself, like you got to do the job to filter everybody, no, you don't. You just
Right.
got to just surround yourself with people that make you feel good. And I will say this because I'm a little older than some of y'all. So I would just, yeah. So I
I'm
would
like,
just
we the
say
same age? No, we're not.
one of the best things I've ever done is just realize, one, not everybody is for me. Two, you can't force people to do anything. And 3, just be yourself and don't edit yourself for other people. Like,
Yeah.
just
You
be
know what I found
and
is
then
hard?
you'll know who really rides with you and who really dies for you, you know? Because when you are really you, all of the parts of you, then you do give people the opportunity to accept you.
I was gonna say what I really have found. Lauren said the dog's barking. Okay. And then also in the chat you said, let people show you their hand. No one wants to keep the ball rolling. It's disappointing to see how folks don't want to support your shine. Neela is preaching. It's not for them to do that for you. React appropriately and surround yourself with people who make you feel good. Yeah, I agree with all of that. And one thing that I've really focused on over the years is the those who matter don't mind and those who mind don't matter. And I keep that in mind to like always be myself. But I think something that people don't talk about enough is like, it's hard always being yourself. Like, I don't know if anyone else experiences that. And maybe it's because I so naturally match energy and I so naturally kind of know the best way to mold myself around people that makes them comfortable and makes us like whatever. So it's very easy for me to do that, not in a fake way. It's just like natural, but like for me to be like, no, I'm going to stand in my own. Like I had something the other night and I wasn't feeling like talking. And normally I'd be like, well, I'm going to fake it. But I was like, no, I'm not going to fake it. I'm going to be like, here I am. And this is it. But like, it's actually hard for me. And I find myself having to remind myself, especially in moments where I feel like I'm about to do or say something that's too much. And then I'm like, listen, if this is too much for that person doesn't need to be in my circle. Like, I don't want to filter myself and I'd rather know now than know later. But it's hard, y'all. I find it hard. I do it, but it's work.
I think because you've trained yourself to do it, now you have to untrain yourself. Because quite frankly, I stopped giving a fuck about other people's emotional comfort like 20 years ago. And it was because I'm not, as a Virgo who is always taking care of other people, it is a thing where you just want to make everybody happy, right? But you can't. If they're already miserable fucks in their own mind, nothing you do, no matter how far backwards you bend, they are not going to give, they're still going to be miserable fucks. So why are you expending your energy on that?
Right.
And it's not about trying to make other people uncomfortable or saying it's my way or no way, because that's not it either. It is about just like, I'm not going to give myself an extra day hair for this.
Don't you still honor your feelings? Like, don't let someone's comfort like it's their comfort over your feelings. It's not it.
Right.
It's just not it.
Yeah, like you can't put someone else's
It's
comfort.
very difficult for me, actually. Even when I have to, I mean, you guys, when I have to call a customer, a client, and tell them something that is not satisfactory, right? Like it is what it is, right? One of those. And I mean, I'm in logistics, okay? I'm not driving the trucks, right? But that I know that they're going to be like upset and uncomfortable. And I have got to, and part of me thinks, oh, well, I'll put it on me, right? To make them more comfortable. But this isn't a me thing. Actually, it was you. It was actually your people on that side.
That part.
And I have to literally be even at work, I get literally flustered. I have to like walk around to do it, but I have to literally
just the
be like,
facts, man. Just the
facts.
Facts.
Feelings. And I'm going to tell you, you're not going to put this on me. And I feel, and I have to say that this was an error on you. And that's really hard.
That was hard for me when I got into banking. Especially when people would call really upset. And I finally had to really be like, listen, a lack of preparation on your part does not equate an emergency on my part. Like I'm sorry you didn't do what you needed to do, but it is what it is. It's a hard lesson to learn though, especially when you're more like empathetic to people. But like you said, like there's unfortunately a lot of situations that come down to like whose comfort matters more and whose happiness matters more, you or the person you're putting yourself out for. And sometimes you got to pick yourself.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you got to pick yourself.
That part. And I no longer feel upset about people if I feel being selfish anymore. I used to be really annoyed with people that I felt were selfish because, like, why are you being selfish? Now it doesn't even faze me. Now I'm like, that person is choosing themselves. And because I am now a person who chooses myself, I'm not mad at them for choosing themselves. Even if them choosing themselves puts me out, I know that it's just them, like, just like me. I'm never intentionally trying to upset people. I'm doing what's best for me. So now I view when other people do things, like, instead of being like, oh, and taking it on me, I'm like, they're just doing what's best for them. Sorry it puts me out. I'll figure it out from there. But it definitely changes when you change
and I
it.
have that constant issue, especially taking care of my body, because growing up I was taught, because I'm first generation Haitian. It's a land of hardworking people.
Hey, first generation kids, put your hands up. What? Immigrant
So,
parents.
like, taking care of yourself or resting was seen
As lazy.
Yep.
and I still,
Yes.
like, even today, like yesterday I was talking to my dad, I was like, man, I'm just in a lot of pain right now. I'm having a terrible flare up. It hasn't calmed down in a few months, but I need to get work done. He's like, well, rest. I was like, well, I already rested. He was like, well, rest some more. I was like, I got to get work done. And he's like, you got to take care of yourself. I was like, why didn't you say that to me when I was a child?
Well, they say that now, but they never said it younger. And it's so crazy because, like, as someone who tries to work on resting, I thought I had gotten better because my mom always apologizes when she rests. She will work like a 12-hour shift and then sit down and be like, I know there's stuff to do, but I'm just sitting for a minute. I'm like, why are you apologizing?
Right.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize until I went to Portland, it was because I live by myself. Unless I'm on camera doing something, I'm me, myself, and I. So it had been a while since I'd really been in a space with someone other than family. And Rebecca was like, you always apologize when you're not working. I'm like, I do? Like, I really didn't think I did. I thought I had worked past it, but apparently I do.
Happy birthday, you know you're your mother.
Yes. Happy birthday, I am my mother. So I'm really
Happy
trying to
birthday,
get
you're your mom.
better about that. And that's not a bad person to be, though. She's pretty awesome.
No.
I'm definitely one of those people who, like, I mean, I've always loved my mom and had a good relationship with her, but definitely, like, the older I get, the more I appreciate her.
Yes.
And, like, more so than that,
Yeah.
like, seeing her as a person,
Yeah.
not just as like my mom, yeah, like as a woman, and even like as a mother, like realizing, because she was born in Liberia, I was too, but she was born in Liberia, and I am now at this phase where I'm like amazed at how independently thinking she was, considering how she grew up. Like the way she was able to raise us to be independent, the way she was able, like, especially when I talk to other Liberian immigrant children and they talk about how their parents were, I can relate on some level, but on especially the more bad stuff, like not talking, things like that, very minimal, because she was just like, express yourself, think for yourself, all of that. So like, when you're growing up, like, yeah, you appreciate it, but now as an adult and knowing how society puts all that stuff on you, knowing that she was able to break away from that noise and be like a totally different type of parent, especially first generation immigrant parent, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm amazed by her.
Yeah. My mama.
Shout out. What's her name?
Mary, my parents are
Shout
Mary
out
and
to
Joseph.
Mary. Woo-woo.
Shut up.
Of all the names. Yeah.
Mary, there's something about her, you
You
know?
sure they're not Mexican? Maria and
Jose,
Are
Maria
you
and
kidding?
Jose.
Are you
I like
fucking
it.
kidding me?
Okay, so I don't want to keep this too much longer, but Lauren promised to give us the tea.
time.
Lauren promised to give us the tea on the podcast fest, and I want to know the details.
Oh, you guys. My favorite podcast for a long time was called True Crime Obsessed. Okay. I don't know if you've ever listened to it. It's Patrick and Jillian. Hilarious, funny, but human. You know, I've been listening to them for years, had them on the Patreon. Anyway, they have Obsessed Fest. Okay. And it's a convention, and they have like wine and crime coming. They have like all these different shows, right? It's like a convention. They have like a genealogy, like a solve a case, like all this stuff. And it's not CrimeCon. It's their network's event, right? So I did see, because I am on the Obsessed Network Reddit page, right? Because I don't have Facebook, that there had been some things going, some internal things happening, right, behind the scenes. You know, it was like beef with some of the fellow people there. So the show that Patrick, the host, that he used to host part-time, and then I guess it got replaced by this guy Joey, and I guess it got a little bigger than his show, True Crime Obsessed. Okay, keep this in mind, because before this convention happens, apparently like Joey and Ellen leave the network or something, and then like 3 or 4 weeks ago, this article drops by this writer. I think his name's Jeremy Renner or something. He's talking about like a toxic work environment. He's talking about the Obsessed Network. He's talking about Patrick Hines, and he is saying how like he will explode on people, very Lizzo-ish, right, but not the sex stuff, but just like tyrant-ish at work, right?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the bad lines was like they brought it in. They were like, we need some diversity here. There's no people of color, like we need some diversity. And one of the statements Patrick made was like, well, I'm gay, so that counts for like the diversity, right? Okay, so this is what happens. This drops beforehand. And at first they didn't make a statement. And you're like, what the fuck? And then finally they said, like, it's categorically false. This is not true. We always try to foster all these things. So these things are happening about a month ago. Let's get to the convention. Number one, it's a little bit discombobulated because people know what's happening like behind the scenes. There's been like shade thrown a little bit on the podcast and on like their socials. Okay. So day one, I guess someone had asked, like during a meet and greet photo op, had asked like Patrick something, or she was wearing a shirt that was like semi-shady, and Patrick yells like, I'm not dealing with this, and storms off from the meet and greet. Okay, that's like day one. They've had like some of the panels aren't coming anymore. It really feels like a fire fest. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's day one. Day two rolls around and oh my God, I can't believe this really happened. Okay. So, and I actually have the real story. She actually posted about it, and I have
Send me the link. Send me the link.
Actually took place. But I'll give you what we saw, right? So there's people waiting in this line to get into a panel, and you see Ellen and Rabia. And Rabia is Adnan's attorney, Rabia, right? Because she had the 3 panels. Fantastic. They also had Maggie Freeling there. They had from the Innocence Project there. Like there were some good panels, right? But she's walking with Rabia, and as they're walking, she's crossing paths with Tara Newell and someone else. And Tara Newell, if the name rings a bell, it's the girl, the daughter from Dirty John, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
One who fought him was she's the one who killed him, right?
Yes, like she fought with him because he tried to kill her, right?
Yeah.
That's her. So they're walking and they cross paths, and Tara looks and yells, okay, in the lines while people are waiting to go into the different rooms. Fuck off, bitch. What? Okay. So another thing. And then in the middle of the day, then you get a message from the 2 of the hosts that had another event and a karaoke that I had put on my schedule, that they were no longer doing any of the events at Obsessed Fest, that they feel like their safety was like at risk, that they're doing the meet and greet now at like the hotel. And you guys, a clusterfuck. Like Patrick, in order to get the tickets, he sent us all copies of his book. I don't fucking read his book because he's pretty full of himself. I hate to say it. And Jillian was throwing me off. She kept talking about she kept talking about Taylor Swift, and I'm not a hater, but like, I'm not going to this thing long, and you don't have to talk about it every single fucking episode. You're killing me. You're killing me. And so they were already rubbing me wrong, right? I have ad free. Okay. I bought VIP passes to this fucking convention. Firefest, disorganization, empty panels, people are late, sound issues, and battling hosts. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, where am I? I'm gonna send you. Let me
I
send
ain't
this. to
gonna even lie. That I kind of feel like Keisha when we talk about Summer House and all these other shows and we have no idea what's going on. But I love gossip about people I don't know.
Me
And
too.
this is amazing. Like, what the
I'm
all
And
telling you,
that's
all
one
these
thing.
people are involved with murder?
I
This
am
is
in the
literally kind of
car.
the
Now
place
I'm
where I don't
driving, so
even
I have
watch
to
the
have the
Mikey Club
camera
around.
off. But it is. I'm just sitting here listening and just enthralled.
Gagging, right?
I mean,
I'm
you
gagging.
guys,
Enthralled.
this is
What
supposed.
the fucking
These are
bitch
supposed.
done-
This is a business. What does she say? This is an establishment. This is a business, right? Remember that line? That's what that was supposed to be. I'm telling you. Let's talk about. I just sent Ellen's version, right? Because apparently there was an interaction in the elevator before the outside interaction, and which we all heard. Fuck off, bitch.
Like Solange and Jay-Z?
Yes. And
Wait, so what happened in the elevator?
that's what I just sent, right? I just sent it because she was like, do I know you? Like she apparently was like, you're causing all this drama with the network. Oh God, it's a mess. It's a mess. Let me show you the picture of when I'm gonna send you a picture of when
It's a
Patrick
hot mess,
stormed
but
off
it's like the mess that I love because it's
from
like
the meet and greet.
silly mess.
It was. I was honestly this drama and being able to live watch and live communicate with the Reddit community that were all online there, all that obsessed with us. I mean, there's a moment where one of the girls is upset at a meet and greet and she's talking about why she's upset with Patrick. And she's like, we came all the way here from Montana. It's a mess. Oh, okay. Ellen. Okay, here's the crazy part. She ended up, instead of doing her event that night, she ended up at Roundup in the neighborhood in Dallas doing karaoke for all the fans. So it was super, super crowded. And this all stems from they used to be like best friends. Okay, Patrick and Ellen. Like they even started the I Think Not, which used to be like the Obsessed with Disappeared show, which talks about like missing people cases. It for them, apparently the whole blow up, because I guess one show is getting more popular than the other. The whole blow up and end of their friendship and him essentially like trying to like fire her or them leaving and then saying that they could buy the show for $3 million. So they ended up like leaving the network and having like to create another one. But it was all over a TikTok sound for video. Like this is how petty.
That's what it all was like. That's what
like
activated it.
the big exodus happened after Patrick was upset that Ellen used a TikTok sound that he wanted to use, and she refused to take the video.
I love that though. I love stupid drama. The world just kind of sucks, and there's so much real drama, and I just love stupid
you
drama that
guys.
you don't feel bad about because it's
Fire
silly.
Festival. You're telling me that for VIP, like this, like super obsessed fest, you gave me a plastic cup and not even a fan. Not even a fan.
Yeah.
Guess we're unaccepts.
Okay, Ellen, the girl that was accosted in the elevator and yelled at, I just sent you what her Instagram post was,
Ellen, okay.
which is Solange in the elevator. And the fact that Tara Newell from Dirty John, okay, is the one that like did this, and actually she confirms what happened. And I'm going to send you that. That's how you know it was a full on mess. She said, okay. She said,
To ask something about this whole murder, missing person, solving, horrendous. I don't fucking get it. As a single woman who has lived by herself all of her adult life, I do not understand this obsession of women being obsessed with other murdered women and missing people. And part of it is also because I've been involved in organizations that have dealt directly with violence, severe violence against women, and having to see, like, that is one of the reasons I became so obsessed with Bravo, because there weren't any murdered women or abused women on those shows. Like
Yeah.
they were safe in a weird way where I can make fun of them. I can ridicule them because I know they're not in danger.
Yeah.
And that's where a real place that I come from. Actually, I've been talking to my therapist about it. So
It's a weird
so
thing.
so I mean, and I'm not yucking on anybody's yum. You know me.
Mhm.
I do not yuck on anybody's yum. Whatever you like to do, that's your do. But from your point of view, what is it about knowing somebody else was unalived, and now we're building an entire podcast around the lurid details of it?
I
I
think
can only speak like for, I'll
I-
go and then you go.
yeah, I'll speak for myself. I feel like I do have a very a fascination and an interest on different crimes. I can appreciate that when they're solved, and I think that's something super important to me. And I'll also throw in there that my dad was killed by a violent crime, and it is a cold case, and it is something that for me, I like to see the resolutions, because mine never had a resolution. And that is why I hate that it's become like an industry complex, but I also listen to a lot of court cases. And for me, it's not about I don't even really care about the killer. I care about the investigation, and I care about when they're solved, and I care about when they're unsolved and they're missing, because I want to know their names. And
See,
for me personally, that's why.
I was actually going to say the exact same thing. For me, it's about the investigation. It's about, like I like when you're watching it, you trying to solve it. It's like the same reason I watch Law and Order. It's a little bit more macabre because obviously we're talking about real people. And so there is a little level of like, ugh, to it. But for the most part, like I watch those series and those shows because I like trying to like figure it out. Like when I like the clues. I can't do unsolved mysteries. It triggers my anxiety too much. I don't like cold cases. They trigger me too much. Like I need to know it was solved. Like just knowing, like I feel I guess I feel connected to it either way, but when there's a resolution, I feel better. But when there isn't, and the person's still missing and their family's still upset, I carry that with me. And I don't like that. And so I realize like I can't watch those, but as long as there's like a beginning and the end, kind of like what we were talking about. Oh no, I was talking with Shannon, but my whole Libra Aquarius thing with me needing like justice and all that, like I need the resolution. As long as there's a resolution and I feel like the family has some type of justice for what happened, then I'm like, okay. But the other types I can't watch it. Yeah.
Because I'm really
it's more about the investigation than the actual harming of the person.
And I'm picky about who I listen to because I don't want it to be macabre. They're real victims. There are real people there. So I like the ones that talk about who the victims were, who they were as people, as they tell the story, and how they eviscerate the predator of the crime. They get the garbage bell, and then it comes to a close. And for me, I'm like that close is what I need. Like I need
that closure. I need to know. I don't know. It's like I need to know that like people, and also I guess. I mean, I know it sounds bad, but also on like the punishment level. It's also why I will sometimes watch prison stuff. Like I need to know, because sometimes it feels like we live in this world where like bad people don't get punished, especially if they have money or popularity. And it really gets to me that there's just like so much shit, and it feels like there's just so much injustice sometimes. And so sometimes I like watching those shows and seeing like, okay, this person got, what was due to them, because it's happening anyways. But I need to see some examples of it being like, they got it,
that there is some justice in the world.
I
guess, and I get that 1000%, but there's part of me that can't ever stop thinking, what was that poor person going through when
I still do.
I think it too.
The last moments of that person and find Yeah, that's yeah. But
I
anyway, happy
Architect-
birthday.
The architect who was finally arrested for the Gigolo
Yeah.
Beach murders. Yeah. And then when you want to talk about too, like minorities and like the
Mm.
whole, even like
Our
the whole
stories are
how
never
like
there.
black on black crime thing came about because we were saying you don't solve black on black crime, and then they turned it
Mhm.
around and made it against us when the problem still exists that you don't solve, like they don't care about it as much. And that's why people who hurt minority communities, whether it's like serial killers, serial rapists, whatever, get away with it a lot longer because
Well, we
it's
just saw
easier.
that happening in the South right now. Wasn't that happening in Georgia? All of these missing Black women, and the community kept telling the authorities, "This is a serial killer,"
I
and
think
they
it was
wouldn't
in
fucking listen.
That's
Just
been a
like
problem
on
in
the
Georgia for as
Canadian
long as I can
fucking
remember.
border. In the
Yeah.
last, I don't know how many, 20 years, like 500 women, Indigenous women, have gone missing or
Yes.
murdered
The
on the
Indigenous
Cana-
women, it's
that was one of
insane.
the panels I did watch.
Insane.
Actually, that is a
About the
show.
Indigenous women?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, okay, yes, murder shows, fine, but please, can we put attention on the real, like, I mean, not
That is
that there
that
aren't any
that is
real
the main
victims,
show
but
for the missing and disappeared. It is mainly focused on Indigenous women. I'm very
Yeah.
picky about. I don't listen to Morbid. I don't listen to My Favorite Murder. I'm really picky about them. I want to.
yeah.
I
And
want
see,
them
and
to
I
do-
can't, like,
make it
I
different.
care too
Right.
much
Like,
about the
even that
missing people
name
one.
is terrible.
Yeah, like I
Okay.
care too much with it that it like if there's no resolution, I take it with me longer versus like I still think like you do about like their last moments and how awful it was. But at the end of the episode, there's some type of resolution. So I have like closure. But when they're missing, I'm still worried. Like, are they hurt? Are they this? Are they that? And then I take it with me because I don't know what happened to them. And I've learned that I can't do that to myself. I can't watch missing people stuff.
All right. So one of the things that I'm going to try to get everybody on this group to do, because I already got Lauren to do it, is going back to reading smutty books.
Yes. That is
So
a great way to end this because I want to end back on a positive.
Listen, all these Bravo accounts, like, y'all know who you are and y'all know who I love, but y'all just got me oversaturated. Like, I
Yeah.
couldn't anymore. I couldn't
Yeah.
I couldn't look at one more post. I couldn't look at one more nada, to the point where I can't even watch these shows anymore because
I had to take
I'm
a break.
already like biased against some of these people. So I've gone back and started reading smutty fantasy books, smutty
And Love Island
historical.
Games is November 1st, right?
Love Island Games. Oh, I still
Oh,
haven't
yeah,
watched.
and Love-
Well, I don't watch the
Okay,
U.S. ones.
Love
But I need
Island,
to catch
yeah,
up on the last
but
UK
I
one.
will say this: there's a lot of authors out there. There's a couple of big books coming out there. But as I've turned Lauren on to the From Blood and Ash series by
Bruh.
the Jennifer L. Armentrout, please, I cannot recommend anything to
So
make
good.
you feel better than trying to associate yourself with a character that's about to bang two other hot characters.
Yeah.
And they're doing it in a fantasy land, and there is magic, and there are werewolves.
Did you
and
ever
there
see
are
the show Lost Girl? By the way,
Yes. Oh my God, dude. She
you
was a sexy
have.
best.
I feel like not
dude,
enough people
I've
have seen it. And
seen
it's like the best
every
show.
episode, and I need to watch
I've
it
seen
again.
the season
Oh
twice. I watched the
God,
season
it's
twice. It was so good.
What
It
network?
is so good. Lost
Okay.
Girl.
Well, it
It's
was on
Canadian.
Netflix. I don't know where it is now because they took
Let
it
me
off.
see.
But
Yeah,
it's called Lost Girl.
Not on
It's
there?
So good.
it's
So good.
Canadian and it's about
Yes.
this she's a
Succubus.
succubus.
She's a succubus with a
And there's like
werewolf
fays.
boyfriend.
Oh, her werewolf
Yeah.
boyfriend.
And then there's
I need a
one
moment every time
human.
they're together. Like,
Okay, it
No,
says
it's
where
so
to
good.
watch the CW, Apple TV. I gotta buy them.
Girl,
The only way I
I'll-
can
I'll-
watch is the CW.
Yes.
How do
well, I'll
So
find a
if
fun clip.
anybody wants an escape that doesn't make you think about, I mean, you have battles, you have murders, you have blood. It's in a fantasy world that doesn't really exist, and everybody's beautiful and is fairies. So, and I will say a lot of these new writers, because I started reading fantasy when I was a kid many years ago, and everybody white. But nowadays, like, they got some, like, I'm like, all right. They're
If anyone
really
wants
kind
to
of,
get me the books for my birthday,
Do you like Audible or do you
Girl,
like
I
paper?
girl, I sent you a
I
link.
Kindle
No, Monday. I
What?
sent you a link with all of the books.
for free.
She did.
Yeah,
She
it's
did.
in your shared Google Drive. Look under
Okay.
the word smut.
I want
Okay.
Yeah, oh my
get a
goodness.
reader, a Kindle reader, and I want to know your thoughts about it because I have Kindle Unlimited and I use my iPad, right? But I
Mhm.
get too distracted on my iPad, right? Because it's always doing things.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Do you prefer the reader? Like, how do you know what I mean?
I read it on my tablet now, but I used to have the reader and I did love it because there are times where I'm on my tablet. I'm like, oh, let me check this on Instagram really quick. Let me
Right.
check this on Netflix real quick. So like, I like the tablet or I like the reader because it was just that. And
Mhm.
like, it didn't have the screen. It has a different type of screen.
Mhm.
So you could read anywhere. So I did enjoy it for that. But other than that, the app's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just
Does
read
everybody
I
have
just
the
read them on
Libby
my
app?
laptop. I
On
read
your
them
laptop?
and I'm a very focused reader. I don't like once
See,
I'm in a
I'm
story, I do not go do anything else.
an
If I am obsessed,
ADHD
I'm obsessed.
reader. I'm a
Yeah.
Yeah, you
speed
are.
reader. Okay.
Yeah.
I speed because I'm like, yeah. And then I'll be like, what did I
Wait, what
just
happened?
Just
Yeah.
read. You have to go back and read it
So,
again.
yes, but
Well,
when I
everybody,
do it
this
on
has
Audible,
been super
Oh, we're
super
getting cut
fun.
off.
I know. I'm cutting it off only because I will be back on live. And Mila, you're joining me, right? At
Oh
one
yeah.
of the
Do you want
stops.
to go do that right now?
No, it starts at 1. I wanted to give myself a little bit of time in between stuff.
Oh, so is it 10 my time?
Oh, yeah, it's 12. It's almost 12:30 here. So in half an hour.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, 10 o'clock my time. Yes.
Yes. All
We're
right.
gonna
But
do
thank
tarot
you.
reading.
Yes.
Happy
Thank you
birthday.
very much, everybody, for joining me. I love when the group chat gets to be live and talk. Like I said, we'll do these more often, but thank you.
I might
this
do
for
your
you.
RP live. I don't know. I might watch. Who knows?
Okay.
Yes.
Have
Laura
fun.
knows I'm
hold on.
good.
Are you playing something?
No.
Come on, it's Jocelyn. Do it like Smiley
No,
Day.
we can't
It's
hear
stop.
it.
It's breaking up. We can't hear
Yeah,
it.
no, sorry.
But
Your audio is
All
I'll
right.
send
correct.
it to you.
speaking of Jocelyn, I started watching and unfortunately it was the last day that I had it, was
Zoo?
College Hill Celebrity. Oh, and I'm so mad because I only watched like a few episodes and it was right before her fight with Amber Rose. And I went to take a nap. I came back and it was like, oh, that was your last day. You can't finish watching them.
Damn. All right,
So-
y'all.